Welcome back, fam, for another video. So I want to talk about potentially finding the sex of your child in your birth chart. Yes, I know it's like a little weird trick, and I want to see if it continues to be true. And some people are definitely interested in their children and seeing what their personality might be like, anything like that. Everything that has to do with pregnancy and children is the fifth house, okay? Yes, there are certain placements where people can suffer more miscarriages, more loss, or more difficulty with pregnancy. And there's some people who just have very easy pregnancy. And this has to do with a lot of that fifth house energy. Okay, the fifth house is represented traditionally by Leo. Leo is represented by the sun, and the sun is our fun, it's our creativity, it represents our childhood, how the state of our childhood was, how we learn to even be creative, have fun, and express ourselves in the world, all right? So the fifth house, now you're gonna look at the cusp of the fifth house. If there are planets in here, this is gonna be different, it might be a little mixed bag, okay? But most times it will definitely show you the sex of the child that you could potentially be having, as well as their personality, which we'll talk about in a second as well. So if you are maybe possibly having a boy, you're going to be looking for your fifth house cusp to be starting in a fire or air sign, because those are masculine, okay, energies, meaning they push out energy. And this can also mean your child is more masculine dominant, okay? The energy with them is more masculine, meaning they initiate, they conversate, they're extroverted type of energy, okay? So if you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius on the fifth, or Gemini on the fifth is twin energy, okay? These people usually have twins or want to have twins, things like that. And Libra and Aquarius on the fifth is going to give you a boy, okay, or more masculine energy. And if you're looking for a girl in your chart, you're going to look for water and earth, because it's feminine energy, all right? Everything yin and yang, right? So water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Then you would have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, all right, on your fifth house cusp. And this will tell you if you're going to have a girl first or a boy first. Now, it will also tell you how your child will be. If you have fire there, you're going to have a very expressive child, okay? A very fast child, like going all over the place, lots of movement. They have a lot of energy usually, okay? And if you have different planets in there, if it's Saturn, this might restrict them a little bit more, but kind of balance them out depending what it is. We'll talk about the planets in a minute, but if you have fire there, it's definitely more the creative child, the child with a big personality, the child who has you running around in circles, okay, running all up and down the house, all right? You got to keep up with that baby. Now, if you have air there, this is going to be a very, conversating child, a child who likes to talk a lot, could definitely be very artistic, could be very intelligent, okay? You guys have to realize that our kids, are way more intelligent than us, because they're already born in the future in energy that we can't even fully accept. So the air babies, they could be challenging, because they challenge, what you do and what you say, and they very much listen to your words. They're very much in their head, okay? Then if you have water there, you're gonna have an emotional child, okay? An emotionally sensitive child. This is, the children that are moody, okay? You don't really know how they are. A lot of them like to isolate. They like to spend a lot of time alone, okay? Because they're in their own world. They're creating their own thing. And so this is definitely that. It's going to be an emotionally charged relationship that you'll have with your kid. And then if you have earth there, this is going to be, this kid could be kind of reserved, dry, low-key, chill, very just practical, resourceful kid, a kid that likes to work most of the time, a kid that puts in effort, or also depending on what it is, could be lazy, depending on what kind of earth baby it is. But definitely an earthy kid, like just more chill, definitely resistant and hard to change, okay? So you're gonna have some of that. Now, a couple of planets in there that will tell you, if you have Venus in there, it's usually have a great relationship with your kid. You guys are really close and, tight, depending on Venus is in a sign that it actually likes to be in, right? Remember, we have to take all these things into account, as well as the degrees. but it's essentially what Venus in the fifth is like having beautiful kids, very loving kids. This is artistic kids as well. If you have Mercury here, you guys talk a lot, you have a lot of conversation, you text a lot, you talk on the phone every day, that kind of thing. You exchange a lot of ideas. It's almost more friendly, the relationship as well. You become friends. If you have Mars here, this is going to be, you guys are going to have arguments. You guys are going to have some frustration, but it usually ends quick, okay? Because Mars is in and out. So it definitely can be competitive, or it could be hot between you guys. So just make sure that y'all are not fighting, okay? Because this could be definitely like a kid who wants to fight. Then if you have Saturn there, this kid could be really serious, quite reserved, quite quiet. Might, depending on what sign it's in, if it's an air sign, might not talk a lot, okay? If it's Saturn and air there, just might be a very quiet kid and not speak a lot. Hard to reach, hard to read with Saturn there. Saturn also deals with pressure and structure, so these kids could be very much by the book and just following things as, they perceive that things should be. Kind of a mature child, okay? Especially if you have Capricorn here too, a very mature old soul. Pisces is an old soul too, but just in a different way. Then if you have, what did I say? The moon here, this is going to be a sensitive child, a very moody child, hypersensitive, hard, like definitely give them a lot of emotional support, okay? This is a child you're going to definitely have to let cry and let them get their emotions out, because that's what they're going to have to be dealing with. You won't be able to read them, you know what I'm saying? Because if you have the moon there, then their emotions are changing every 2.5 days with the moon. The moon is changing every 2.5 days, so it's hard to read them sometimes. But they could be very touchy and sensitive, so just nurture and nourish them and tell them that you care, and be like, watch your tone with how you speak with the kids, because it's more about how they feel when you have the moon here, okay? If you have Uranus here, you're gonna have a rebel child, honey. Aquarius, you're gonna have a rebel child most of the time. Y'all are gonna butt heads on who's the parent, who's the who like, I'm the parent, but then your kid's like, but I'm my own person. So this is definitely, Uranus here. Your kid is, a rebel, probably much like you were when you were a kid with Uranus here, okay, getting kicked out of school and stuff like that. So that's what you have to deal with. Also, very innovative child, may be very technology driven and just extremely smart, way smart, very much in the future, okay? There could also be an element of detachment here and a coldness with the child, or aloofness. Then if you have, what else could you have in there? Oh, if you have Neptune there, this could be kind of like, first of all, a very beautiful child, like very youthful, like the glow is there, but this is interesting. You would have to look at the aspects to Neptune to really tell you, because remember, Neptune is all about confusion. It's all about the illusion and things like that. So it just depends on what kind of illusion is being cast. If it's Neptune and Capricorn, then it's just more of like, a kid who is serious but with a softness, okay? Because Neptune dissolves the hard edges of Capricorn. So it's kind of like traditional, but like new age traditional. Like, we're going to do this a new way, mom. Like, let me put you on game, that kind of thing, But if it's Neptune and Pisces, this child could get very lost. So, and they could, make sure you put them in art, make sure that you have them in like water therapy, make sure that you're really tapping into their emotions and they have a lot of quiet time too, and that they learn meditation. It's really important so that they can get through the fogginess, because you might have a tendency to, it's, the thing is that they're learning this unclarity, they're learning it from you. So that's where that Neptune is going to come in the fifth. That's why you have to make sure it's more in an intuitive based relationship, and it's almost telepathic that you have to communicate with your child, okay? Because they might seem otherworldly, or they could just be really, really dreamy and ethereal. Now, if you have Jupiter there, your kid's finna teach you something, so you better sit down and get in class, okay? Jupiter there is, your kid is going to teach you. Your kid is definitely going to bring you a lot of joy, a lot of wisdom, a lot of blessings into your life. You guys will travel together a lot, things like that. Your kid, you might have the kid in a foreign place, in a different country, but definitely big personality, a person who is here, and they're going to make you feel, make you really show them what your integrity and morality is, and your wisdom and where it lies, and your mentorship. But definitely your kid's going to teach you a lot. You're going to learn a lot through your kid with Jupiter in the 5th. Then Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, right? Mars, Mercury, Venus, Pluto. Pluto there is just going to be intense kid. Intense, pretty intense. You'll definitely have to see the degrees, the sign. That'll tell you a lot. You know, if it's Pluto and Sag in the 5th, then it's like, burn all the structures down, Mom. Why are you still holding on to this, Dad? You know, fuck everything. Da, 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 da. Like, you know, just very like for their truth, always wanting to discover the truth, and will say anything at a cost. And will say anything with not thinking there's any cost to it. Just saying, it is what it is. This is the truth. You know, always yelling their truth, this kind of thing. So could be a very preachy type of child. Okay. So yeah, this is a little trick. If you have different planets in there, so this obviously will tell you, you know, what's going on. But let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.